Hi everybody, it's Jody Weiner with you again. It's my 5th video, and before I say anything else about this video, I want to assure all my subscribers, especially that girl Sarah on 06, who has asked me to make sure that I do a poem in this video. And so I've got a poem, and I'm going to read it at the end of the video. Okay, so don't worry about the video, and don't worry about the poem. It's definitely coming at the end of the video, because at the end is the best place for a poem. Okay? Anyway, I was looking around YouTube because now that I'm an atheist, I wanted to find out what other atheists are saying so that I could change it around and make it look like it was my own opinion. And I found this guy who's definitely an atheist because he's got atheist in his title. And his name is The Atheist Antidote. And I went to the dictionary and looked up antidote, and antidote says it's the cure for a poison. So I tried to figure out what that meant for atheism. And anyway, the Atheist Antidote is a really brilliant man, okay, because here's what he does. He's an atheist, yeah, but what he does is he pretends to be a Christian, and he tries his very best to make Christians look ridiculous, and therefore convert them to atheism. So that's why he's the Atheist Antidote, because he's like the antidote to religion for atheists. So that's pretty cool. But he did make a video the other day that I took a little bit of disagreement to. He was talking about how to be a man. And, well, you know, he has some funny ideas about being a man as far as I'm concerned. Because as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I'm sorry for being so blunt. But if you have a penis and you act yourself, you're being a man. I don't know what this guy's talking about. Check this guy out.
We have lost the art of manhood, gentlemen. Sadly, we are saddling our sons and our grandsons with a bunch of metrosexual mayhem. So here is a veritable tour de force of testosterone to fight against the gush of sissy, sassy culture.
I'm not a sissy. I just want you to like me.
Is your metrosexual maligning manuscript. We gotta teach our boys 5 ways to purify water. We gotta teach them which survival knife is best. They should know how to survive if they get lost. They should know how to rescue a capsized boater. They should know how to fend off a bear, an alligator, a cougar. They should know how to spot a poisonous snake. They should know how to stop the bleeding if their arm happens to get cut off. They should know everything there is to know about guns.
Anyway, so this guy wants to cure us atheists of the poison of religion. And, so what's he talking about manhood for, anyway? I don't understand.
They should know how to die a good death like Davy Crockett. Listen to me, if you're not politically incorrect about 95% of the time in your life, you're doing it wrong. For the love of all that is good for our very survival, we need to bring back these classic traits, these manly traits of yesteryear. John Wayne, you know, we need them back. We need to teach our boys honor, old school gentlemanly conduct, stuff like self-confidence, precision, decision-making, wisdom, real knowledge, humility, bravery, sacrifice, how to fight. Listen, public schools, pop culture, the effeminate branches of evangelical church, these places have turned being a man in the classic sense of the word a bad thing. And they've turned us all into a bunch of dandy dipsticks, and they're wrong, and it has to change.
I think my mom told me what manhood's all about. This guy doesn't seem to have a clue. I asked my mom, what does it mean to be a man? What makes a man a real man, Mom? That's what I said. And my mom said, a real man knows where the magic button is and knows how to use it. And I said, oh. Well, Mom, could you tell me where the magic button is, please? Because I like to know, because I would like to make sure that I can be a real man. And my mom said, no, mommies are not allowed to show their sons where the magic button is because that makes them a mommy's boy. And I don't want to be a mommy's boy. So I said, okay, Mom, well, what do I do? And she said, well, you will know that you are a real man when you find the magic button on your own. And you will know when you find it. And I said, oh, can you give me a clue? Could you tell me what color the magic button is? And she said, no. And I said, could you tell me how big it is? And she said, no. And I said, well, if you can't tell me how big it is, and if you can't tell me what the color of it is, can you tell me how do I know when I find it? And she said, you'll know when you find it, and if you don't find it, you won't know. So I'm a bit confused about that, but my mom says it has to do with the magic button. And a real man knows how to find the magic button. It hasn't got anything to do with guns or knives or how to fight or whatever that jackass was saying of the atheist antidote. So, I mean, he's doing a very good job at converting people to atheism, but I don't think he's a very good, he's got some very strange ideas about men and what men are supposed to be like.
Whether you want to hear it or not, what we need men who are protectors. We need men who are hunters. We need men who want to be William Wallace.
Men are men. If you have a penis, you're a man. What's the issue? I don't get it. Anyway, so I just wanted to warn everybody about this atheist antidote guy because I don't quite think he's quite old there, upstairs. I mean, he seems like a nice guy, but his actual name is not the atheist antidote. His actual name, are you ready for this? His actual name is Brock Lolly, like the vegetable. I mean, Brock Lolly. No wonder he's mad at his mom. No wonder he doesn't listen to his mom about what being a man is. How could she name her kid Brock Lolly? I don't even know. Anyway, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to get off subject. I'm gonna leave that guy alone now because I think I've made the point about him not understanding manhood very well. So I'm going to go over here now and look at this poem, which I prepared earlier. Well, actually, I read this poem. I mean, I wrote this poem. Must have been 3 years ago now, when I was like 25, and I was, it was a bit of a weird time for me. I do have a lot of weird times. I think this one was like right after my mom was coming out of a bit of a stupor. Anyway, this poem is called Subsubism. That's S-U-B-S-U-B-I-S-M. Subsubism. Of myself I give freely, without regret or resentment, yet I pay for it dearly, it brings some contentment. And I wonder how I am, who I am, what I am, kidding myself, thinking that I understand. I feel like a shattered mirror, still in its frame. When I look into myself, I don't know my name. Everything is broken and shaken. The world tilts, and I am falling over. Though I am often mistaken, I am falling over. I'm falling over, and I may never recover. Some things once opened can never be closed, and once placed in the way shall remain. Times like now are times such as those. I cannot surrender to strain. The load that I carry... Hang on, I missed a place. Hang on. The load that I carry, the choices I've made, have helped me define why I am here. But when I'm weak and in need, there's nothing I can do, and nowhere to turn. There are no more pages, but the story isn't done. Who's writing this script anyway? Give me back my life and go away! That's the end of the poem. I think I must have got distracted at the end. It was a long time ago, and I was going through some weird stuff. So, I'm sorry if the end didn't make sense, but I think the end actually sort of ties it all up in kind of an interesting way. Anyway, this is my first video about, like YouTube events and stuff and people, and I hope that you like me. And if you do like me, please hit the subscribe button because that will mean that you like me. And this is Jody Weiner saying thank you for watching. And that Brock Lollygaw, he always ends his video go by, take it to the bank. But I've got a better ending than that for this one. Shake it till you wank.